We have two pathways. We can say mom has the kid's best interest in heart, and we've done what we can medically speaking, and we will respect the wishes to transfer to hospice and withdraw care. Or we call DHS and pursue Munchausen diagnosis. And that, as I'm sure you guys know, is a significant uphill battle without wonderful documentation, and no one felt like that was, they're never cut and dried, but no one felt it fit the right picture for that. People that knew her, mom was a little quirky. She might have had a bipolar or personality type disorder, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have best interest in heart. So we couldn't base our decision on a perceived mental health diagnosis she may or may not have. I guess in hindsight, we maybe made the wrong choice. But at the time, and everybody I talked to, including our ethics team, including our GI service, we all felt that we didn't really have this. This was the right decision. It was our decision to allow her to pursue this, and that she had interest at heart were in alignment with proper medical care. And I think we all kind of begrudgingly agreed that we had to respect that, and we let it happen. I even went and saw hospice, and Kelly was appropriate. She was distraught, but at peace with her decision. I don't know that we would have done anything different put in that situation. Obviously, hindsight 2020. But again, as much as I can be off the record, I feel absolutely terrible about this. And it's the what if, what could we have done differently? How could we have seen this coming? What could we have done? Could we have prevented this? Could we have gotten obviously someone involved earlier, maybe? Well, I guess basically we call Child Protective Services, and they take it from there. And for what it's worth, I have a social worker on my team. We definitely have times when we call them. It is not to fault the system. It's very hit or miss. I've had families in Stapleton have their kids taken away because they're playing in the park across the street. I've had kids of meth addicts who the report was filed 3 times and nothing happened. So it's not a perfect system, and it means no system is, but it's a really tough thing to do, because what I'm basically saying, if I'm going to say we're going to go down Munchausen's route, I'm saying you're not parenting your child correctly. Not only that, but you're putting them in harm's way. We're taking your child away, and investigating them, because if we do open a CPS case, the first thing they're going to do is that investigation, and we've got to have documentation in place. And if I just started now, it's the day one of where you want to do this, I better have great records going back a long time. I better have a lot of places where I said this doesn't feel right. There's a split between medical and what mom's saying, and I don't know that any of us had that enough to really push for it. And again, it's one of those diagnoses that you better be sure. You better be sure you're doing that. You can't just be like, well, maybe. If we're going to pull that trigger, sorry to use an inappropriate term, you know what I mean, though, right? You pull the trigger's pulled.
Yeah.
You do that, and we're saying you're an unfit mother. You're doing something wrong, right? Again, hindsight 2020. Clearly, maybe we should have said something or looked into it further. Knowing what I know now, obviously, different story. Knowing what I knew then, we would have done the same thing 100% of the time. It's so tough to think that a parent doesn't have their child's best interest in mind. It's so difficult to assume that they're lying to me, that they're fabricating. And again, this is probably the presumptuous optimism of a physician. I assume, I'm on the people are good side of things. that being said, I see the underbelly all the time.
Yeah.
You know where I'm coming from. It's there, and I know I see it. But we as a medical community, when people come to us for help, we assume they really need help, and it's. I don't know what it looks like personally. I have not made that phone call. We have had patients historically who have ended up getting that diagnosis. The occasional patient that I worry about, I dot my T's and I cross my I's and I make sure my documentation is pristine, so that if it does come up, and this is one of those where I hope that I documented everything perfectly, that because I know it's gone over with a fine-tooth comb. Again, doing it all over again, I don't know that I would have done anything differently. Is this going to change my practice in the future? Am I going to start going on social media? I don't know that I want to do that.
So I don't know that we're encouraging that. And just to be crystal clear, we're not approaching this investigation at all from the perspective that there was any nefarious intent on the part of anybody at Children's.
I know, I understand that. I just feel awful about it. I mean, it's, facing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. That's okay.